There's a story of a young daughter on Thanksgiving who goes up to her mum and asks her mum, why do you cut the turkey in half before you put it in the oven? And the mother kind of scratches her head and says, I don't know why, I do it because my mother did it that way. So the little daughter, curious, went up to the grandmother and asked the grandmother, Grandma, why do you cut the turkey in half before you put it in the oven? And the grandma paused for a second and again scratched her head similar to the mum and said, I don't know, I did it that way because my mum did it. So the curious little daughter goes up to the great-grandmother and asks the great-grandmother, Great-grandma, why do you cut the turkey in half before you put it in the oven? And the great-grandmother said, I cut it in half because my oven was too small. There are many beliefs that we take on from our parents and from authority figures in society that we never question. We never put them under the microscope and ask, does this belief serve me on my trajectory and what I want to accomplish in life? You see, so many of the rules in society and so many of the rules that potentially your parents bought into and were important to them, or your grandparents, the rules that were important to them, are now outdated and antiquated. And to blindly take on beliefs and injected ideas without ever putting them under the microscope and questioning them is setting yourself up for failure. Especially as a trader, trading is one of those pursuits that requires you to think differently, to think a little different to how other people in society think. So if you want to become a consistently profitable trader, you must become aware of your mental blocks, the belief system you currently have in your mind, your mental programming, and learn how to rewire belief systems and mental programmings that no longer serve you. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do that. Now, I want you to comment below this video your biggest trading psychology issue. I want to offer you some insights. I was working a couple years ago one-on-one with a trader that came to me and said that I have this issue when I make money quick and fast and it's so easy, and then I end up losing it. Easy come, easy go. And then they said to me, it should be more difficult than this. And I asked them, where did the should come from? Where did you inject the belief system of how quickly it should take to make money? And he said, that's just how I think. And I said, no, shoulds are an indication of an injected belief system, an injected idea. Where did the should come from? Where did you get that idea from? And he stopped and he thought a little about it. And he said, my dad was a truck driver and he worked 18-hour days, and he'd be driving his truck for long hours, and it was incredibly difficult. He had some physical pains. It was physically demanding because he was sitting down for so long. It was also mentally demanding because you had to stay awake for so long and stay focused on the road, and the consequences were high. And I said, so you saw your dad work these incredibly long and difficult and hard hours, and he was preaching to you that you have to work long and hard hours. And he said, yes. And I said, can you see that you've injected this belief or this idea without ever questioning it from your dad? And it's just quietly seeped into the subconscious mind, and now you have an internal conflict because you're not a truck driver, you're a trader. And by definition, when you scale up with significant amount of capital, you can make a lot of money very, very quickly as a trader. So you have an internal conflict because you love trading and you know how to make money quickly, but the internal conflict is that doesn't align with the belief system you've injected from your dad, your authority figure. And he said, that's exactly right. So we spent the next few sessions resolving that particular issue, and the difference it made in his trading was significant. He never realized, but unconsciously he was running this internal conflict within him, which was creating stress and self-sabotage. It was giving back the profits, but it really wasn't self-sabotage. He was just attempting to live by injected belief systems and injected values that he never questioned, he never put under the microscope, he never learned how to clear. And when I helped him do that, his trading went through the roof. So traders, now I'm going to ask you, what beliefs around money, around winning and losing, around how quickly it takes to make money and how much money you can make in that short period of time? In what space do you have to be in a particular space to make money? And around discipline and motivation, how hard you have to work? What beliefs do you have logged in the subconscious mind around these particular topics? Because if you don't become aware of them, you don't address them, then they're going to impact your ability to reap consistent profitability as a trader and take full advantage of your skills as a trader to leverage and make an exponentially greater amount of income. In my own trading journey, I had a certain figure that I remember my dad mentioning his salary when I was really young, and that left an imprint in my mind, and that became a ceiling for me in terms of what I thought I was capable of making in trading and in business and investments. And it wasn't until I cleared that and addressed that and brought it to the surface and I worked through that I could actually break through that ceiling. Another trader that I was working one-on-one with had an injected value on how much her dad was making, and she remembers the exact figure, $100,000 per year, and she recognized that that particular ceiling was holding her back because of having her dad up on a pedestal as an authority figure, writing the narrative of what she thought she was capable of. Until she took the authority figure off the pedestal and cleared the super ego and addressed that belief, could she break through that ceiling. So when I go in there and I ask you the question, money is, you want to be identifying any skewed beliefs you have around money. If you have this idea that money is good, then that's a biased belief. You're going to be infatuated with money. You're going to be fearing missing out on money. You're going to be fearing the loss of money. And now your life is going to be run by the pursuit of money and the fear of losing money and the fear of missing out on money. So whenever you're highly infatuated with something, it runs you. Or if you have beliefs around money is bad, then you're going to fear gaining money. You're not going to want to hold on to money. And these beliefs start from perceptions of life experiences. For example, you could see someone very wealthy who was able to go off and provide for their family and help their family and help get out of a sticky situation, for example, and you may make an association in your mind that money is good. Or you may have this perception that money was the reason why your parents had a divorce or something like that, was the reason a significant relationship to you broke up, and because of that experience, that perception of that experience, you can label money bad. And if you don't go in there and address these perceptions, then you're going to have a belief around money that it's either good or bad, and it's going to run your life. It's going to impact your ability to stick to your trading plan. It's going to impact your ability to effortlessly scale up with capital and effortlessly make more and more money from your trading, from business, from investments. Now, the truth is money is neither good nor bad, neither good nor evil. Money is a tool. It's a tool to help you facilitate fair exchange. If you want a particular product or service, you can go off and give them money in exchange for that particular good or service. Now, is that good or bad? Well, people are going to project their own ideas onto that based on their previous life experiences. The truth is, money is just a tool. Funding is just a tool. So if you have a lopsided perception towards money as good, and you know specifically what you're judging it as and where that comes from, I want you to identify those things and identify the specific content of what you're labeling good. For example, there may be an experience where you thought that money helped pay down debts and alleviate stress and take some, get someone out of a sticky situation or help provide to someone. Identify the specific content of why you're labeling that good. And then I want you to find evidence of the exact opposite in your life to help you break that biased belief. If, for example, one of the beliefs is money is good because it helps someone get access to greater health and fitness and personal training, and it helps them level up their body, go and find evidence of the opposite, where money has actually hurt someone's body and their health and fitness and that type of stuff. So you can balance that belief out, and you can realize that money both has helpful needs and it has hurtful needs. It's just a tool depending on how you use it. So you can break the bias and the label that you're putting on money, labeling it good. You're not trying to make it bad. You're just trying to balance out that equation so you can see money for what it is, neither good nor bad. Now, let's say, for example, you've got a biased belief towards losing and you're labeling losing bad because potentially in your early life, you played some sport and you lost a important game and you got punished and you got criticized and people said bad luck, and you learned to associate pain and negative to losing. Then you want to go in there and find the opposite, where losing has been a service and a benefit to your life, and it's helped you become aware of things you weren't aware of before, and it gave you greater motivation and drive, and you worked harder and you leveled up and used it as motivation to push yourself to the next level of skill or whatever it may be. What you're trying to do is, whatever lopsided perceptions, money is good, you want to find the opposite. Money is bad, you want to find the opposite, depending on what your judgment on it is. Losing is bad, you want to find the opposite. Winning is good, you want to find the opposite. And you want to get yourself to a state where you're more balanced on these particular judgments, because these particular labels and judgments are important to crack as a trader. If you're labeling money good, you're going to deviate from your plan, seeking after money. If you're labeling money bad, you're going to have fear of gaining it. You're going to deviate from your plan. If you're labeling winning good, you're going to be seeking after wins on each individual trade, driving the pain of your losing, deviating you from your trading plan. If you think losing is bad, you're going to have pain resurface when you take losses, and you're going to introduce fear into your trading, deviating you from your trading plan. If you think it takes a certain time and space to make money, then when you make money quick, you're not going to feel worthy of it. You're going to accumulate internal guilt, and then you're going to have an altruistic compensation to squander it or to give it away or try and rescue people because you don't feel worthy of holding on to money because you think in your mind you've made it too quickly. If you think it takes a certain amount of discipline or work or certain years, 10 years or whatever, 10,000 hours to become a successful trader, then if you're making it quicker than that, again, you're going to have that internal guilt. You're not going to feel worthy of it. So you're trying to identify any lopsided beliefs you have around money, and you're just trying to make yourself aware of the other side to break that bias and to break that belief. And the truth is, your mind has access to it because it's a contrast. If you're labeling it good, you must be comparing it to where it's bad, because our judgments require contrast. If you're labeling something bad, you must be comparing it to where it was good. So the opposite will be in your mind. It's just going to be unconscious. You need to hold yourself accountable and you need to bring it to surface. Now, this trader I was working one-on-one with injected a particular belief on how long it takes to make money from his dad through what is referred to as the super ego by Freud. And once we identified that by being observant of his language, use the word should, which is an indication of an injected belief or an injected idea, I should be doing this, then when I identified that, I helped him go in there and clear the super ego, and I helped him find the opposite. I helped him find where his dad made quick and fast money, to help him break that label that his dad always made slow money through hard work and through all that type of stuff. I helped him break the label and helped him see the other side to that experience. And now that belief had less hold on him. So when you become aware of the beliefs that are hurting you as a trader, and you bring those to surface, and you go in there and find the opposite to the content of what you're judging, and you break that label and you break that biased belief towards that, you free yourself from the shackles of that belief. And then you give yourself permission to just stick to your trading plan, build consistent profitability as a trader, and scale up effortlessly. Now, if you found this useful, make sure you like and subscribe. It keeps you up to date with my most recent releases so you don't miss anything. And before you click away, I want you to click on this next video that's going to come up on your screen, either here or here. I'm not sure, I forget, but click on that video and watch it through. That's going to give you a bulletproof trading mindset so that you can consistently stick to your trading plan. You can scale up with funding, and you can make more and more money from your trading.